Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be here. I am adjusting to a big time zone difference right now. POW was, for the past month, we were in Europe. We were in the UK, Vienna, Malta, and France, and then we ended in Germany. And throughout those days, we spent our time connecting with student-led groups, youth-led groups, and leading trainings on sidewalk counseling, activism, culture jamming, and it was just a really rewarding and great experience. I remember our first 40 Days for Life this year. I came here, just recently released from my incarceration for the rescue, and I spoke about how we have to use our rights or they will be taken away. And I spoke about how the people in Europe, they're being criminalized for even just praying silently outside of abortion facilities, and that it is our duty and our privilege to be able to exercise these rights. I saw in Europe firsthand the fear, the shame, and the absolute oppression that the governments are pushing onto these pro-lifers in Europe. And frankly, it was bewildering and really scary for us, specifically in France. Any type of pro-life expression will send you to prison. Just standing with a sign. And there is an underground pro-life movement in France who is struggling, trying to figure out how to save babies in their country. I think the biggest, most impactful time was my time in Vienna. It's legal to sidewalk counsel there, but nobody was sidewalk counseling. And that, I was like, no, we're not having that. And so I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and I was like, we need to go sidewalk counseling. We need to go sidewalk counseling. Your brothers and sisters in the UK and Germany can't even go. What are you doing? You have to go. And so after some time, they agreed. And it was so different than in America. There were no death squads. There was no multi-billion-dollar industry villainizing pro-lifers. And so we went there, and every single person talked to us. Every single person talked to us. Every single person wanted to talk to us and take literature. And people were crying, and we were hugging people, and 3 babies were saved. And the pro-lifers there were like, wow, we need a sidewalk council. And I was like, yes, because that's where the battle is at. And that's why in the UK and in France and in Germany, they're hyper-criminalizing pro-lifers so they can't go outside of abortion businesses. And I just want us to reflect on the privileges that we have, that not only we can be out in front of an abortion business, but we can go all the way up to the door. That we can freely and openly express our views. And we need to take advantage of that. I'm tired. I'm not here to debate about abortion. I'm here to end abortion. I'm here to end it by cutting off revenue sources of the abortion industry. And to be able to witness the pro-lifers in Vienna be empowered and take back what they thought they couldn't do, it was co-empowering and co-learning and struggling alongside of them. And that was the biggest takeaway about my time in Europe, this international solidarity. Because what is happening in America is being transplanted into Europe. The worst of the worst that we can manufacture in America on the abortion front is now being taken over to Europe. They're trying to legalize abortion through all 9 months of pregnancy. They're trying to legalize fetal organ harvesting further and further up. And they're looking to America, the pro-abortion lobby in America, and using that playbook. And so that's one of the reasons why we were there, to share how you can be boldly pro-life, unashamedly pro-life, anti-abortion, and be bold. And whatever the consequences there are, you just take it. Because what's the end result if we don't try? Dead children, families that are exploited. And so one specific thing, there was a guy there, his name is Thomas. He was outside in Vienna, just doing 40 Days for Life twice a year. And he never considered walking across the street and standing in front of the door, by the door. He never considered that. He did 40 Days for Life, prayed his rosary, but he never considered to just walk across the street and say, hey, would you like some help? And when he did, when he was with us, babies were saved. 3 babies were saved. And so that's what I hope that we can look for this 40 Days for Life, prayer is great, but action following our prayer, lives will change. Lives will change. Fetuses are human, fetuses are people, abortion is murder, and I am unashamedly anti-abortion. Thank you.